Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into Beat the Book. As always, I am your boy, Big Al Better. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome on in. We do all sorts of sports betting here on this channel. That's why it's called Beat the Book. We're always on our journey to beat the book, trying to take their money, not give them our money, if you know what I mean. Anyway, if you guys clicked on this video, you're here for the NBA Finals. We got Game 4 on deck. If you guys are new to the channel, like I said, for the first three-ish minutes, I'm going to go ahead and just recap how our last bets went and kind of go through that, kind of talk about how the game went. So if you guys don't care too much about that, you can just hop to about three, like I said, three-ish minutes, and that's when we're going to hop into the new bets coming in. But yeah, anyway, before I hop into that and hop into how our bets did. Just if you guys haven't been tuned into Big Matty Bets doing the hockey stuff, I mean it's been absolutely insane. That series is tied 2-2. Obviously, when I'm recording this, just I mean the game four just ended. They tied it, went to overtime. Three of the games I believe now have gone to overtime in this series. For the first game, Matt was on Edmonton -1.5. They did not. They won in overtime, so he didn't hit there. Then he had money line Edmonton in game two. The Panthers won, so he didn't have that. In both games, I was telling him, brother, like, don't you like the overs in these games? Because they were both 7 points, and I think 7-6, 7-7, something like that. And so the last two games he's taken the overs, and boom, they've been cashing. So he's been on a bit of a hot streak with that. So if you guys have not been tuning into the hockey, go ahead and make sure you check that out. But let's get into this recap here. So we had over under 228. We were on the over in game three, and we were on the Pacers +5.5. If you guys watched the game, I was not able to watch the game. I had a different work thing going on, so I wasn't able to watch the game, which always sucks because I like watching all the finals games. But they don't hit the over. They get just short. We get to 223. I thought they had a real chance to get there because I was checking my phone during the event. I'm just like sitting there like looking at it, and they were getting really close. They were getting really close, and when the fourth quarter started, I was like, we just need a little over 50 points, and we're gonna hit this. Like I felt really, really good about it, and they did not. They got exactly 50 points in the fourth quarter, and they did not end up getting that number for us. So that's unfortunate. As far as the Pacers +5.5, that one does cash for us. So that was nice. Kind of, go 50-50 on our big bets tonight. As far as the four pick parlay, we had Miles Turner over 21.5 PRA. That does not hit. He had a bad game. We had Chet Holmgren under 24.5 PRA. He went off. He had 20 points, 10 rebounds, and I believe 2 assists. So he had 32 PRA. We had Jalen Williams under 32.5 PRA. He decides this is the game he's going to go for 26 points. And then we had Shea under 47.5 PRA. That one did that was our only check mark on all of the four picks from the night. So anyway, it's just kind of unfortunate. The way they'd been going through the first two games, we switched locations, and then it does not end up going that way. So that is what it is. What can you do? You just keep making more bets, like I said. Um, and if you guys have been watching me through the playoffs, like I always say, and you're going to be just tired of hearing it by this point, but the over/under spreads are our big bets. Those are what we put a lot of money on. As far as the four pick parlay, that's more just for fun. So that should be a tenth of a unit. That should be a very small amount of what you pay. The books make a lot of their money off of parlays. So that means people lose a lot of parlays. So those I just do because it is fun to have skin on some other things versus just having skin on an over under spread. Because then you can basically just make your bet, walk away from TV, not even watch it if you don't care that much, right? So the prop bets help you root for certain players. So that's why they're fun, right? But yes, very small amounts we put on the parlays. We're not throwing big cash around on these parlays, hoping to hit a +1100 or +700 bet. That's not how profitable bettors gamble. So we don't do that. Anyway, let's hop into game four here. I'm going to switch the screen here so you guys can see what we're looking at over here on DraftKings. We've got the Pacers, the Thunder, obviously. Game four, -6, +6 is the spread. Pacers are underdogs again at home. Um, which is pretty crazy. They're up 2-1 in the series, still underdogs. I think it's because they expect the Thunder are the one seed, were the one seed for a reason in the West, and they had the best record in basketball for a reason. Over under set at 225.5, which is the lowest number so far in this series. The other two games had been at 228, and then the first one I believe was at 230.5. So um, we've taken the over in all three games, and we cashed one over so far, and then we've been on the Pacers every game, and we have cashed two of those. So we're three of six so far. We've hit one each game. Um, which is 50%. We need a break even game where we hit on both. So anyway, for this game, we're going to be looking at the over again. I know you guys are probably getting sick and tired of it. If you guys don't like the over, obviously you feel free to fade me and do your own thing. But I'm just telling you, I feel like water's got to find its level at some point. The Thunder were starting to look a little tired. I heard at the end, like I said, I didn't watch the full game. I was busy I had a work thing, but I was hearing that the Thunder were starting to get a little gassed in that fourth quarter when the Pacers went on their little run. So the Thunder might think the way we beat these guys, we just have to score more. So if that's the case and they're going to play that way, because defense is harder than offense, it takes a lot of a lot out of you to play really tight defense. So they may decide like they're not going to be a slouch defensively, but they may not play as intensive defense and decide to focus more on offense. If that's the case, I think we get a couple more points. The Pacers, they've been, they're going to do what the Pacers do, right? So I could see this one really going. We're bound to get another over. We've had two unders and one over, so it feels like, and it was game two that was the over, so it was an under. So if you follow that line, this should be the over game. So I'm just gonna trust the over. Um, if it fails, then we'll probably just ride the unders for the rest of the series. But that's what I like for this game, the over 225.5. As far as the side, we're gonna be on the Pacers again. Like I said, we've taken them every single game. Um, it's not that I'm biased towards the Pacers, it's that it's the finals. Dang, my video is just glitching like mad, so I apologize to you guys on the broadcast if it's glitching for you guys listening or if you're watching. But we're going to be on the Pacers plus the 6. We've taken them every single game. We've gone 2 of 3 with them. This is kind of the same philosophy I had in the Nuggets series, which I did compare it to before the finals started. That Nuggets Thunder series was very close, and they always gave the Nuggets too many points. I think we took them every single time, and we hit on 4 of 7. 4 of the 7 games we cashed, so we were profitable betting it that way. This feels like too many points. With one, you get the home team. Two, you get the team that, um, they made it. I mean, they're in the finals for a reason. You know what I mean? So I get it. The Thunder are great. They should bounce back. I will honorable mention because someone's going to say it in the comments. The Thunder haven't lost back-to-back games since like the beginning of 2024 or something crazy like that. It's been a very long time since they lost back-to-back games. I'm not saying they win this game. I'm saying I think it's really close, and if it is really close, I like the Pacers to be able to cover 6 points. Maybe you lose by 4, right? You lose by a late shot by SGA that goes in, something like that. I just think we're in for a really close game, so that's why I like the plus 6. So those are my two picks for that. I like the over 225.5, and I like the plus 6 with the home team. It feels kind of disrespectful, honestly. I mean, the last game was 5.5 for the spread, and they covered that, so then they raise it. And I thought I saw a 7.5 too. Um, but yeah, so that's what I like there. As far as the 4 pick parlay goes, uh, this is a little controversial, but it's up to you guys whether you want to ride with it or fade me or whatever. But we're going to run back the exact same 4 pick parlay we had in the last one. The odds went down a little bit. They went from plus 1100 to plus 1000. But I just feel great about it. I mean, we have Shea under 46.5 PRA again. His line moved from 47.5 down to 46.5 because he had a big under game. He got to like 32 PRA, something like that. 24 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. I don't know, something like that. Miles Turner, his number came down because he had a bad game. So his over for PRA is 20.5. So we're a Miles Turner over, Shea under. Jalen Williams, his number stayed at the exact same, under 32.5, and then Chet Holmgren's went up to 26.5. In the last game, he was at 24.5. So, yeah, we're taking the exact same 4 pick parlay from the last time. We did, I mean, full disclosure, and if you watched the beginning of this video, you guys already know, we hit one line, it was Shea's under. The other 3 lines all missed. Well, I'm looking at that as more of an outlier than a new reality, a new normal, if you will. So I like. Remember, all these hit in the first 2 games, and then we just missed a bunch of them in the third game. So I feel great here. Shea under 46.5 PRA, Miles Turner over 20.5 PRA, Jalen Williams under 32.5 PRA, and Chet Holmgren under 26.5 PRA. I think Jalen dropped 26 points. He's not doing that 2 games, in my opinion. He's not going to do that 2 games in a row. Chet Holmgren goes 20 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. He's not doing that again. He can get the 10 rebounds, he can get the 2 assists, but he's going to stay under the whatever we would need 15 extra. He's not going to get 15 points, okay? And if I'm wrong, then we always come on and we recap. So if I'm wrong, I'll own it hand up. You know what I mean? And then Miles Turner, he just had a bad game. He got to like 13 PRA. He had 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. It was something pathetic, right? He's not going to have that again. And I was looking through the box score. He went 3 of 11 from the field, just absolutely atrocious. By the flip side, Jalen Williams, he went 9 of 18. He shot the ball 18 times. This guy never shoots the ball 18 times, and he goes 50%. Please get me out of here. And then Chet Holmgren, he goes 3 of 11, so he didn't even have a good shooting game. He got all his points from free throws. So yeah, that's not good. Like that guy doesn't shoot that many free throws, and he had just a ton of free throws. So I don't expect that to happen again. Shea, he shot for his part, he shot 9 of 22. So he had, a little less than 50% shooting. He'll probably shoot a little bit better, but I think if he's focusing more on offense, he's going to score less, or he's not going to score less. He's going to have less in the rebounds and assists category, which I think still keeps him under that 46 and a half. And you got to remember, so far in this series, he has yet to break that 47-point line. He got to 47. He hasn't been over it, and this line could move by the time you guys are able to get the book for it. But for him, like to only he hit 47 one time, and then he was under this number the other times. So I kind of love that. So anyway, that's the four pick we're going to run with. It just feels like the right spot to kind of fade these big performers. And so you're fading a Chet who just had a big game, a Jalen who just had a big game, and then you're playing the opposite side. You're playing a bounce back with Turner, and then you just need Shea to just keep doing Shea things. Like he had 24 points. He didn't slouch. He just didn't need to score. Well, I mean they lost the game, but he didn't have to score because Jalen put up 26 and outscored him, and Chet put up 20. Like so. Shea's got the ball a little bit less. I think that's all that was. So but we're playing. Shea's a little fatigued. Remember that all the other games, it's been 3 days apart. This one's only 2 days apart, so we get a little more fatigue, and which doesn't really play into my over theory, but it does if the Pacers kind of run away with this one. So, who knows? Anyway, that is all I got for you guys in this video. That was about 11 minutes, I guess, is what I'm seeing right there. Hopefully, that, like I said, I saw my camera glitching a little bit. Camera right there. I was glitching a little bit, so hopefully that didn't affect the audio too much, and it was just the picture. Thank you guys always for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you guys are new, please like and subscribe. It goes a huge long way. We got NFL season right around the corner. Matt and I are going to be putting out some. If you guys watched last year, we did like a whole schedule breakdown video. We go through every single team and we give you guys kind of like our preseason, not preseason like for the preseason, but like before season starts, we go through their schedule, break down how we think the teams are going to go. It's just fun if you like football to just to hang out for those, and then obviously it's gambling related too because we'll look at their over unders. For their win totals for the season through what the books have for them, and yeah, no, NFL season is a whole animal, and that is don't get me wrong, I love NBA, I love betting on NBA, I love watching NBA, but there's something about Sunday football, NFL, that is really there's a lot more to dive into, and it's a little I think it's a little easier to hit on player props. Like we have been pretty bad at hitting player props in these four pick parlays throughout the playoffs here. We did pretty good in the regular season, but during the playoff run, it's just been tough to get consistency from these players. NFL is not like that. NFL, we hit a lot of player props over the course of our first season doing it. We're going into season two. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. So, anyway, keep it tuned here, guys. As always, like I said, watch out for those hockey videos. Matt's kind of been on a little bit of a hot streak. Started out slow. These last two games, he's been bing bing, taking the overs, cashing them. No big deal. Anyway, thank you guys, like I said, as always, for tuning in. We do appreciate it. As always, protect the bag, beat the book, and yeah, we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.